In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful, hello everyone, and welcome to this edition of RIN in English News with me, Nima Chitsas. Speaking on Tuesday evening at Teachers' Week ceremony, President Hassan Rouhani officially opened SHOT system and described the continuation of strengthening the system important even after the reopening of classes, saying he had ordered the National Center for Cyberspace to help complete the system and fix its shortcomings. Omid Haidari has more.
The president described a learning skill alongside a second language and virtual literacy essential for students and stressed the importance of paying attention to education and ethics, strengthening the Persian language and the health of students. President Rouhani said, "There is no doubt that the position of the teacher is very high, and the greatest teacher position is the God Almighty, and after him prophets." He added, "Much of what we have in life, including ethics, education, skills, and knowledge, comes from the education system and our teachers." President Rouhani pointed out that the first teachers that children see after being born are the parents, and after that, teachers in the schools, adding the root of country's growth and prosperity is in education and the classroom. He said, despite facing coronavirus and sanctions at the same time, the Iranian people have shown the best resistance these days, and we can compare our moral conditions with other nations and countries. President Rouhani went on to say the first group to carry out this task were doctors, nurses, and medical staff who did a great job, made great sacrifices, everyone worked hard. The president said our knowledge-based companies were able to make the best kits after a while and the antibody kit. President Rouhani went on to say another part of our job was what teachers and the education system did for the students. Apparently, the SHOT system is for students not to fall behind. The system created a teacher-student relationship during the coronavirus era. He added, "Great work was done through the cyberspace and the national media, and we need to thank all teachers for carrying this heavy burden." Hoping that the education begins soon in the white zones, the president said, "Learning science and skills are important, but education and ethics are the foundation of education." The president also said, "The Persian language is our means of communication with history and the past and is very important. We need to learn this language very well." He said a public effort was made in the country to confront coronavirus and preserve the economy and people's lives. President said, "I would like to thank all teachers for their great responsibility and for their hard work during the coronavirus spread period. The SHOT system will be needed even after all classes have restarted." He pointed out that there is no doubt that teachers have economic problems in their life, but since the year 2013, we have always been concerned with solving the economic problems of employees in general and teachers and workers in particular. President Rouhani said it is teachers' right to have better living conditions. The president also commemorated Martyr Mutahari, who was one of the exceptional and unique figures in our history and one of the students of Imam Khomeini's school. He said the late Martyr Mutahari was a unique figure for the culture of the society in the depths of knowledge in science, morality, and religious sections. The president also listened to some dear teachers and authorities' points of view in person or through video conference.
Elsewhere, President Rouhani and Japan's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe held telephone conversation about the global developments. During the conversation, the top officials stressed the need for de-escalation in the international community and establish relations based on human principles in order to conquer coronavirus pandemic. The Iranian and Japanese top officials underlined the importance of bilateral cooperation and exchange of experiences in fighting coronavirus pandemic. Further, they called for deepening bilateral cooperation and following up implementation of mutual agreements to develop economic and trade relations. For his part, the Iranian president appreciated Japan for dispatch of humanitarian aid to Iran to fight the coronavirus. The president added, Iran will not forget such help it received from Japan during the hard times. President Rouhani then censured the United States for illegal maximum pressure on Iran while the country is fighting the virus, saying The sanctions have created obstacles to provide the nation with medical equipment. Turning to the issue of the U.S. presence in the region, President Rouhani expressed regret that these days the southern Iranian region of Persian Gulf and also Iraq are witnessing tension created by the U.S. He further named the U.S. as the one that always starts tension in the region. For his part, the Japanese premier stressed the importance of global cooperation to breeze through the current critical situation created by the coronavirus pandemic. Abe also said establishment of peace and stability in the region is a must. Head of Iran's Health Ministry's Public Relations Office said on Tuesday that 80,475 people out of a total of 99,970 infected with the coronavirus have survived and recovered. Kianush Jahanpur added some 63 more Iranians died of coronavirus over the past 24 hours, and unfortunately the total number of deaths reached 6,340. Jahanpur said 1,323 new infected cases have been detected since Monday. He added 519,543 tests have so far been carried out in Iran. He went on to say coronavirus epidemic has no clear future and may come back for the second and third peaks. Jahanpur said neither governments nor research centers have provided clear image of the future of the deadly virus, hoping that social distancing can prevent resurge of the pandemic. Jahanpur said the COVID-19 may come back in summer. He said now there is limited information about the virus and everything is based on scientific guesses, and more analysis should be done in the future on the virus. People in 180 cities across Iran can attend the Friday prayers this week after a 2-month hiatus following the coronavirus outbreak. The deputy head of the Policy-Making Council of Iranian Friday prayer leaders said this week's Friday prayers will be held in 157 cities in compliance with the health protocols. Addressing a Sunday meeting of the Coronavirus Fight National Headquarters, President Hassan Rouhani announced that mosques in 132 Iranian cities in areas categorized as white zones will reopen on May 4. Britain now has the worst coronavirus death toll in Europe ahead of Italy and has the second highest number of recorded deaths in the world behind the United States. According to the latest figures from the Office for National Statistics, more than 7,000 people died from the COVID-19 in England and Wales in the week up to April 24, bringing the total to 29,648. When this total is combined with the numbers from Scotland and Northern Ireland, Britain has a death toll of 32,313. Italy has an official death toll of 29,029. Meaning only the U.S., which has recorded more than 67,000 deaths, has a higher record count than the United Kingdom. In the United States, around half the country's state governors partially reopened their economies over the weekend, while others, including New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, declared the move was premature. Even in countries where the suppression of the disease has been considered successful, such as Australia and New Zealand, which have recorded low daily rates of new infections for weeks, officials have been cautious. Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison has predicted a full lifting of curbs on widespread public adoption of a mobile phone tracing app and increasing testing levels. Globally, there are more than 3.7 million confirmed cases of coronavirus, and 247,000 people are known to have died due to the virus. The Iranian Industry, Mining and Trade Minister says non-oil exports are going to be the main drivers of the country's economy in the current Iranian calendar year, and the ministry has it on the agenda to activate all the country's exports capacities with a focus on the private sector. Speaking at a meeting of the Special Committee for the Protection of Domestic Production on Tuesday, Reza Rahmani noted the country managed to export 135 million tons of non-oil commodities in the past calendar year, despite the United States sanctions. Underlining the ministry's plans for supporting domestic production, the minister noted that domestic production reduced the country's import by $3.4 billion last year. He further said, supporting domestic production should be the main focus of all planning and policy-making bodies in the country. He said, this year we should be more proactive in addressing the problems of industrial units in the country, and it is necessary to take timely and operational decisions to support businesses affected by the coronavirus outbreak. Since the reimposition of the U.S. sanctions, the Iranian Industry Ministry has been taking necessary measures for supporting domestic production and increasing non-oil exports. The spokesman for the Commander-in-Chief of the Iraqi Armed Forces said, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Adel Abdul Mahdi, has ordered the launch of a large-scale operation against the remnants of the ISIL Takfiris. Major General Abdul Karim Khalaf said, Abdul Mahdi has ordered the armed forces to cooperate with intelligence agencies to target and destroy the remnants of the Takfiris in some parts of the country. He added, extensive operations to destroy ISIL's hidden nuclei have been underway for some time, and many achievements have been made so far in Al-Anbar, As-Salahdin Governorate, and Nineveh. Khalaf said, extensive operations are being carried out against ISIL's hidden bases with the participation of Iraq's popular mobilization units. Meantime, Iraq's Al-Nujaba movement, a major Shia resistance group, said the United States has been insisting on transferring senior ISIL commanders and terrorists and other terrorists from eastern Syria to neighboring Iraq. Middle East Monitor reported in an online statement, the movement said Washington is insisting on the implementation of a plot to return the terrorists to Iraq by transferring a large number of ISIL commanders and militants from the eastern Euphrates and other parts of Syria. It added, we stress that the Islamic resistance of Iraq is monitoring all your destructive plots to prevent the dangers which threaten the Iraqi provinces. A video went viral on Monday showing the moment members of the ISIL terrorist group are being transferred from Syria to Iraq. And on that note, we come to a wrap of this edition of RIN in English News. Join us tomorrow with the latest updates at the same time, same place. Till then, take care and have a very great time. Goodbye.